Naturalist John Muir famously once said, "The mountains are calling, and I must go."
In 2020, when I took up cycling, I rekindled my love for the outdoors.
And when the mountains called for Jade Stevens, she started a Acre Conservancy and got all the funding to buy the land.
This is really a special day for us all to come together to do this tour. There's just been a lot of barriers that have prevented people from thinking about what owning land means.
Not just any land, but land that would allow Black Americans to experience the great outdoors.
But we know that land ownership is probably the main thing that can achieve generational wealth and have investments in the outdoors.
Jade is the president of the 40 Acres Conservation League.
So the 40 Acre Conservation League is California's first Black-led land conservancy. We exist to conserve land, but we're also focused on finding ways to make outdoors more inclusive for all communities to enjoy.
The land that Jade is conserving is 650 acres of wilderness just off Interstate 80 in Immigrant Gap.
This property is about 70 miles from Sacramento, and it's actually the midway point from Sacramento to Lake Tahoe.
Jade says the trees, the lakes, and the rugged mountain terrain on the property aren't typical places where people who look like her feel welcome or safe.
There have been so many stories from, being heckled for having a barbecue in a public park to a gentleman in New York City who was just bird watching that was told to leave.
Sorry, I'm asking you to stop.
Please don't come close to me.
The black man bird watching that Jade is talking about is Christian Cooper.
When that incident happened to me in Central Park, I wasn't necessarily surprised.
In 2020, he recorded this viral video.
There's a man, African American, he has a bicycle helmet. He is recording me and threatening me and my dog.
Christian was bird watching in New York Central Park when a white woman walking her dog called 911 and falsely claimed Christian was threatening her.
We live in a society that is rife with all kinds of racial bias, and it almost feels baked into our culture, sadly.
The white woman was later charged with filing false police reports, but following Christian's viral video, other black people started recording and posting their experiences with white people in nature.
The gun was pointed at me, my husband, and our dog. It was just pointing at us. She was just like, get, you don't belong here, you don't belong here, you don't belong here.
Christian says many black Americans don't feel welcome in the outdoors, so he wrote a memoir about experiences in nature as a black man, hoping to inspire others like him to get outside.
It is yours as much as anybody else's, from sea to shining sea, and we should go out there and enjoy it and use it.
I woke up this morning with my mind on freedom.
The inequities and exclusion people of color face in outdoor spaces are nothing new. Jade says those feelings go all the way back to the end of the Civil War. And it's actually that part of history that inspired the name of her conservation.
So the 40 Acre Conservation League was inspired by the concept of 40 acres and a mule, which was the promise that upon freedom, black individuals would be able to not only get mules, but get a plot of land, 40 acres. But we know that that promise was never fulfilled, and it continued on for years and years and years.
Jade says purchasing the property for conservation would not have been possible without grants like California's 30 for 30 initiative.
In 2020, I signed an executive order, the first in the nation, called 30 by 30, to set aside 30% of our land and 30% of our coastal water permanently here in the state of California.
But they not only want to conserve it, they want to do it in an inclusive way where everybody understands the benefits of that.
By owning conservation land, not just managing it, Jade says it's a physical reminder that land is obtainable for people of color.
But now that we've been able to acquire the land, our goal is to really leave breadcrumbs for others to follow, so we're no longer the only ones in this space.
Reporting on California's first Black-led conservancy, I'm John Bartel.